Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Gleanings, Chapter 9, and this is a criticism of this chapter. Verse 9 and verse 10, Herminator advises Encheti, then he sends an old maidservant to advocate to Ashura. He tells the maidservant what to say and do. GLN 99. Herminator had returned from his strange journey, but was puzzled when he saw Encheti was silent and spoke little, that his thoughts were not inside him. So Herminator questioned him, "Wherefore are you sick? What ails you?" Then, when Encheti spoke to him of the maiden he had seen, Herminator said, "This is a delicate matter, and one not for the heavy tactics of men. Does not the fawn take flight at the sight of the hunting hound, while the moonflower, that closes its petals at the touch of a man, opens them at the touch of a woman? Your heart has guided you rightly when counseling caution, for you are ill-equipped to catch this rare bird of beauty when unaided by wisdom. For a woman's errand, let us send a woman. The nightingale sings in the presence of the owl, but hides in silence when the hawk roosts nearby." GLN 910. Then Herminator spoke with the maidservant of she who had mothered the daughters of Fermanagh, and the maidservant agreed to do the things he told her. Thus, on the morrow, she went forth unaccompanied, and coming to the place where Ashura dwelt, sat down outside the gate. When the eyes of the maiden eventually fell upon her, Ashura saw the bent old woman, weary and travel-stained from the journey, and out of kindness, for she was gentle and compassionate by nature, brought the old woman in, that she might sit under the shade of a tree to rest herself and eat some fruit. Verse 9:13. This is extremely hypocritical. The man sends a woman, then the writer slanders the woman for being manipulative. And this is what they say, quote, "Speech of men come out like an arrow. Speech of women comes out like a puff of smoke." And then it says, "Men talk with a naked tongue." And then the tongue of women is like a sword sheathed in silk. It does add towards the end that not all men think this way, which obviously I don't. But I find this part here the most unfair thing. And I've noticed in this book that it does spend a lot of time making women the bad person in all of this. And, it's really not a fair way of looking at it. GLN 913. Ashura listened, but said little. And as they walked, the maidservant spoke of the young daughters of Fermanagh, whom she had nursed, and of the ways of man and women. She spoke as such women speak, her tongue following a winding road. The speech of men comes out like an arrow, but the speech of women comes out like a puff of smoke. Men talk with the naked tongue, but words from the mouth of a woman are veiled and devious. The tongue of a woman is a sword sheathed in silk. Not for naught are women called the twin tongue. Perchance these words were added in the days of Thalos, for not all men think thus of women. Don't get me wrong, I like everything that I've read in the Kolbrin Bible as far as teaching us how best to live. It's kind of like what I consider a handbook. I just feel like that it is very unfair, and considering the oldness that it's supposed to be, it does make sense that it would be anti-women, but really, this is very one-sided.